The Veterans Affairs Minister had some second thoughts today about his behavior. Veterans were outraged and saddened by the way Julian Fantino dismissed their concerns about the closing of regional Veterans Affairs offices. They accuse him of ignoring the needs of vulnerable vets. Fantino did apologize today, but as Vassy Kapelos reports, many say that is not good enough.
These veterans are still reeling after their meeting with Veterans Affairs Minister Julian Fantino last night.
It was a disgrace, absolute disgrace.
We were disgusted
and embarrassed.
This was the scene yesterday. Fantino had originally canceled a long-awaited meeting to talk about the closure of 9 Veterans Affairs offices, but then showed up as the former soldiers were about to speak with reporters. Things quickly escalated.
You didn't turn up at a meeting that you were supposed to turn up to, and don't give me this thing about something came up. You bushwhacked us.
That's absolutely untrue.
Well, of course you're going to say that.
Since the meeting, the veterans have been calling for Fantino to resign.
He doesn't have the heart to work with veterans. I mean, you have to have compassion. There was no compassion in that man at all, none whatsoever.
Now, Minister Fantino did issue a written statement this afternoon, but that didn't stop the calls for him to resign or be fired. And those calls didn't just come from veterans, they came from the opposition as well.
Will the Prime Minister do the right thing, apologize himself, and fire that incompetent?
The Minister has apologized for the events of yesterday.
The 9 offices are slated to close on Friday. For months, veterans have voiced their concern over having to travel longer distances to access services. In some cases, they say up to 15 hours. The government says those concerns aren't warranted. Staff will make home visits, and Service Canada offices will act as a substitute.
People love to love veterans and soldiers, as they should. A lot of people love to hate government. That's the reality. When you put those two emotions together, it's a perfect setup for manipulation by the opposition, by the media, and by Peace Act.
These veterans reject that, and while they're disappointed they lost the fight to keep those offices open, they vow to take that fight to the next election.
We lost the battle, but we didn't lose the war.
Vassy Kapelos, Global News, Ottawa.